Hello people, welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos, and today I wanted to talk about 5 things that we're going to want to see in the Final Stand revamp. If you guys don't know, this Final Stand was going to get a revamp via a new mod team, dev team. I'm not inherently too sure on who are the people that are doing it, but if they are, I would love to see one. I'm pretty excited, to be honest with you. But yeah, let's get into this top 5 list. Here, number 5, but stronger bosses. We have bosses like Broly, DBZ Broly here in space, and Dragon Ball Super Broly, which is one of the, main bosses that people use to get high levels. There aren't very many bosses to fight in this game, and it's kind of depressing. There isn't even Majin Buu in this game, which is kind of odd since there's the Majin race. There's a lot of missed opportunities in this game when it comes to the bosses that they could have added. Like, they could have added Turles, Lord Slug, Nappa and Vegeta, stuff like that, instead of the ones that we know today, like Frieza, Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly, and some of the custom bosses that are in the level 600 area. Most of these bosses are pretty boring and are typically just a one-time kill, so you'll never fight them again. So it would be really nice to see like daily quests of these bosses. Maybe not, obviously not as good, since Broly in space gives you at least 57 levels. It's pretty crazy, but nonetheless, still would love to see it. Coming in at number 4 is improved enemy AI. Enemy AI is one of those frustrating things to fight in this game due to the fact that it is completely unfair. They have things like natural no-slow, meaning that they can stack moves on top of each other, and typically they'll end up spamming moves due to the fact that they don't actually have a key bar. It's really frustrating. Fighting enemies in this game is not only tedious, but time-consuming, typically because of the fact that most enemies are very overpowered and are very hard to kill at lower levels, especially if you're a pure or not rebirth. Enemies like Jace here isn't that bad because sometimes it can actually help you because his move is Super Volley, which does almost no damage, as you can see there. But enemies that spam moves like Beam Waves, like Kamehameha, or like something like that, like Final Flash, it can be very, very infuriating to fight them, since when they use these moves they get natural block, so you can't really hit them out of it or do anything to them while they're doing it, mainly because of the Beam Wave pushes you away, or you get spammed into oblivion. And most of the time, enemies don't actually apply with stun lock, which means that you can't really do anything about it when you hit them, because they can just hit you through it. Like so. See? Now if this were a player, you'd have a lot harder time trying to get out of that. Definitely very infuriating, but something that I would love to see in the newest game. Coming in at number 3 is a complete rebalance of the game's race system. Each and every character in this game, unless you are a Jaren, is complete garbage, except, I guess androids are pretty good too. Androids and Jarens are 2 of the most overpowered characters in the game, hands down. No matter what you look at it, no matter what you say, it is the truth, regardless, right? These characters are absolutely insane, especially when you rebirth them, making them overpowered. Androids can get this thing called a stat boost. No other race can do this, only they can. If you rebirth at level 850 and you don't prestige, you can get a stat boost once you reach around, like, I think it was like around level 1300, 1400, 1500. I think it's around there. You'll just get a flat 350 stats added onto your character. It is ridiculous, making them the strongest race in the game, even stronger than Jarens. Jarens are the second best race in the game, hands down, because they have 2-for-1 stats, meaning that they get 1 stat into every single category every 2 levels. That is bogus to begin with. That's pretty good, actually, it's decent. But their transformations are ridiculous. The strongest swarm, Despair, gives them 700 in every single stat category except for resistances. They only get 400 in that category. Before the nerf, they got 700 flat. 700 is insane. That is the same as a Saiyan in Mastered Super Saiyan Blue or Kaioken times 10 Super Saiyan Blue. That's ridiculous. Saiyans aren't as good because their base stats are worse. They get 3-for-1, meaning they get 1 stat into all categories every 3 levels. It's an unbalanced system, meaning making Saiyans garbage. Basically garbage. There's no point in playing a Saiyan, just play Jaren. Like, they are literally the same race. Jarens are just better. But then you have the lesser known races like Majins, Mechians, and humans, which almost nobody plays, and Friezas too. Majins are probably the least played race and the one that you'll see the least, number 1, unless you see somebody in Prestige 2 using Unstable. This is where they get good. Mods have some of the worst keymax in the game and worst key drain in the game. It is horrendous playing these characters. They are not good by any means. They aren't good for grinding, they aren't good as tanks, and they're not good at PvP. The only thing that is redeemable about them is using Unstable, which gives you UI, basically. It's just a transformation of UI, because you get teleport punches and you get teleport right clicks. That's it. That's all you get. You don't get the invincibility frames that you get with UI, like when you can dodge. You don't get that. It used to be like that, making this character one of the most overpowered characters in the game, but I guess UI punches are redeemable and are very good, not going to lie with you, but the key drain is massive. It's on par with Super Saiyan 3, making it the worst in the game. That, and if you press Q and dash, you also lose ki. So just to use this form is a detriment. And if you pair it up with the Majin Game Pass, it is even worse. I think the max I can sit in this form is for about a minute, and that's pretty much it, and I'm out of it. On top of using moves, stuff like this, it's no bueno, not good. Some of the worst characters in the games, and it's just stupid that they're just because someone picked Jiren or Android, they're just boom better than me, just because I think Snake really did overshadow that, but at the same time he didn't care, and I hope that this gets changed in the revamp. So we'll begin at number 2 is the banning of scripters. Scripters are one of the biggest problems in this game. You have people that auto their accounts, that's what you're seeing here. These people teleporting over to there to go to the Broly pad. Autoers auto Broly and gets a bunch of levels overnight, making them get to level 2k within a week pretty much if they really wanted to. They have things like EXP freeze, which freezes their double XP, and is of course obviously very broken. Stuff like this is ridiculous and incredibly frustrating for people that play this game legit. That's not to say that I don't have sign-up text. I do, but I don't use it on this anymore, not like I used to. It is very frustrating to see and just kind of infuriating and just redundant at this point. I don't get why these people do it. But of course they're not really hurting anybody, but nonetheless it is completely stupid that scripters are just fucking overrunning this game, making it garbage, because there's no consequence. If there was a consequence to them doing this, then they wouldn't do it. And coming in at number 1 is a complete wipe of the game. Now if you're curious on what I'm talking about the game getting wiped entirely, everyone's character getting set back to 0. Now, not many people will agree with this. Most of the scripters definitely won't agree with this, but it is something that should definitely be done. Because what they're going to do with the game is reset our rebirth and prestiges. Yeah, like that's gonna matter when there's still level 2Ks running around. It's stupid. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is a waste of time and doesn't really change anything. These people are still here. They haven't gone anywhere. All you've done was reset their prestige. Level 2Ks are still level 2Ks. I know people that are still making 2Ks non-prestige, and that doesn't stop them. And most of the strongest characters in the game aren't even prestige to begin with. So it's stupid, but nonetheless, that's something that we just need in this game. If this game wants to stay alive past, its due date, it should probably get in a complete wipe. That's just how it should be. Like this guy right there, Auto Broly, Uber, whatever the fuck that was, it's stupid, dude. It's just so stupid. These people are clowns. Make fun of them if you see them, by the way. Like this guy right here, Lucas Majin 18, fucking dweeb. Well, guys, that's gonna end off this list. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you dislike it and call me stupid in the comments.